Hi everyone, we're going to discuss today beautiful things on earth because many of us, we overlook what's beautiful on earth just because it's mundane, it's part of our daily lives. We see these things every day, so we don't necessarily care about them as much as we should. We don't value their beauty as much as we should. And especially once life gets very routine-like, I think it's really important to take a step back every once in a while and look away from the routine and look at every unique little item that happens and occurs on a daily basis. I'm gonna be doing a get ready with me while I speak and list out all of my ideas for beautiful things we see in everyday life. First off, I also want to say that this is to encourage you to look at things in another way. Take a second glance, maybe, because you'd be surprised at what you can notice when you live a little bit slower and more mindfully. The first thing that always comes to mind for me when I think of beautiful things is color. Recently I've been trying to paint more, and paint on a palette, colors sprawled out, that looks beautiful to me. And it's also important to note how natural palettes come to life, how naturally they do. You know, take little tubes of paint, put them down on a surface, and you're mixing them mindlessly, to create a certain color that you have in mind. And then 30 minutes later, you look down and you have an array of all these different mixtures and stuff that you haphazardly created, but it's still beautiful. And it's like part of a process, what you're going to look at the end and hopefully think is beautiful as you're painting, but look down at the process, the paintbrushes, all of their bristles. That's what's beautiful. Stuff like that is overlooked. And I love colors in general. It's more common to, fall in love and notice. Fall in love with a rainbow, in the sky after it rains, because that's, one of a kind. You only get to see so many in your life. So I guess without saying that that's something very beautiful. Another thing I think is beautiful are weeds. Weeds in the grass, in pots. And it's funny because we don't really want weeds, When we pot a plant, we don't want anything to suffocate it. We want it to grow. But there's definitely something incredible about a whole ecosystem erecting just from a single plant and some dirt. On that note, wood chips. Wood chips are beautiful. Wood chips come in so many different colors, and they usually are there in substitution of dirt. And there's something nice about having something new, a little bit different. Something I also really love are evergreens. I love them a lot because in the wintertime, they bring so much contrast to your vision, to what you perceive. It's like, if it's a snowy night, then it's all white. And then just big, huge trees. Evergreens are always so large and loud. They're prickly. Sometimes you get pine cones. It's those are pine trees, but that kind of those types of trees are interesting. Another thing I love is colored houses. You know, a house that's not white or gray or whatever, but a different shade. You know, like maybe a bright blue, a bright pink, stuff that's a little bit out of the ordinary. When you pass by it, it makes you smile, it makes you like giggle a little bit. It's strange, it's different. I like it when, especially home decor is unique. Doing my makeup today for no particular reason except for visuals for this video. Some blush. Another thing that I love that you will probably think is annoying is sunburns. If I get a sunburn, I'm kind of loving it. I mean, it is painful in the shower, and it is painful when you're sleeping and when you're moving, but the redness, it's like your skin is just like beaming. Your skin is reflecting and it's just bright. And again, it's something, it like shows that you're human. I actually got inspiration to do this video from this YouTuber named Honey, or Heaven Sent Honey. And one of her items on her things of beauty list was like pearls of blood when they come out of you. And her explanation was that it's like, it reminds you that you're human, that like, oh, like that's me. Like you don't really come across these things very often, but it's like so it's like proof of your biology and what's real. So definitely another striking, beautiful aspect. I really like clean, like fingernails, like when they're just super white, light, bright. I like when my nails look healthy. You know, I've never really necessarily done a lot of like gel nails or acrylics or anything. I've kept it simple my whole life. And I just love it when they're clean, when there's no dirt underneath them, when they're just simple, and just again another reminder of what it is to be human. Another thing I love is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is beautiful because it's extra hard, and when it cracks, it like makes shards like glass, you know. It's not like perfectly formed squares and stuff. There's just something super beautiful about how delicate and hard it is, in addition to like how just like deep, rich it is. Then when you bite into it, you don't know how bitter to expect it to be, really. You know how much cacao is actually in there versus milk. And it's just an interesting surprise every time. Then another thing would be leather. And specifically, I love the leather seats in my car. I wouldn't trade them in for anything. The leather seats are like kind of like sticky, and you can polish them and make them shiny, and they have that like skin effect where there's like creases and wrinkles. I think that's really beautiful, and I like the organic look of it. Leather car seats. And then my next item of beauty is smile lines. I especially love smile lines like near the eyes, like right there. And of course all these like little wrinkles are more visible with age. And my boyfriend, he's older than me, and I love seeing his smile lines because they come out when he's smiling. So not only is it like a symbol of like happiness and stuff, but it's a symbol of happiness reoccurring. Those smile lines like came from laughter and smiles accrued over the years. And even though it's a wrinkle and we hate wrinkles, it's something like gorgeous in my opinion. Another thing of beauty is the like little beans and the paws of animals like dogs and cats. The texture, it's like you press down on it and it's like firm but squishy. The colors are always so twee and just so adorable. You got beiges, you got pinks, and in between the little beans is some fur or hair, and it's like you can outline each little individual little fingerprint that they have, their little paw print, and that's their anatomy. So cute. When I sleep with my dogs, and I'm usually like, my head's like on the edge of a pillow, and my dog likes to just sleep on top of the pillow. So when I wake up, I often have like a paw just like hanging off the edge of the pillow, just like sticking onto my forehead, and it's just so cute and just like so organically wonderful, you know, when an animal is like close to you and it trusts you. And it's okay with you touching its paws. That's very, very sweet. Doing my nose contour here. And then I also own many crystals and glass-like stuff. There is nothing that compares to the walls when light comes through crystals, and when the light like refracts and reflects across the wall into like just splatters of rainbows everywhere, and you get every shade, and it's like a rainbow prism just like through its contents onto your walls. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I remember me and my boyfriend stayed at an Airbnb once for his bodybuilding show, and it was such a pleasant surprise when I went into the bathroom, and instead of the bathroom having no window, you know, for privacy reasons, it didn't have a frosted window, it didn't have curtains, you know. Instead, to create that sense of privacy, it was like a window that was broken up into this pattern and like faceted so that it would reflect rainbows whenever the sun came through it. So every morning and sunset you had an entire bathroom filled with rainbows, because it's just this huge like window pane. I'll try to see if I could find like a reference photo online of like the window pane I'm talking about, but God, it was stunning. It was so incredible. So whenever I see like reflections, it's just some of the best stuff. It's some of the best stuff. Right. So next, I love stationery of all sorts, and this is a pretty common thing of beauty, I think, in people's books. And like, for example, sorry, I have a mirror right here, so that's why I'm constantly looking down, but I'm about to set this makeup. Nothing like going into a Barnes and Nobles and just taking that first breath, because, you know, it's just the smell of like newspaper and pens and pages and fresh books. Like, there are so many scents that are incredible in this world. Like when you open up a new shoebox and it's like that like processed like scent. When you take a Sharpie to your nostrils and you inhale that, can't get better than that. And then there's something sincerely endearing when you enter someone's house for the first time and you smell their scent. Like, every family's house has its own scent. And then once you're in the house, you get nose blind and you don't smell anymore. But when you first come in, you finally like recognize what that house's scent is, and it's wonderful. And then something I also love is when you pass by a fast food restaurant or any sort of restaurant and you smell like breaded stuff, and like you smell like something cooking or frying, and you get like kind of the smell of like something burnt, you get the smell of like a spice, you get the smell of maybe like a meat. It's very nice. I also think grocery stores are great. Like entering a Whole Foods and going straight to the produce and seeing like all of the stacked fruits and all of their great configurations. And you know, you go up to the peaches, for example, and you touch every single one, see which one's just perfect for you, perfect level of firmness, but bite, softness. You know, you feel the bruises on the fruits, you feel everything about them, their shape, and it's just like perusing through all the foods you can buy, making the decision which ones you would like to eat most. That's a lovely experience. Something else that I love is a buffet. Oh man, buffets, hate to see me coming, because I save room for a buffet brunch, a buffet breakfast, a buffet anything, okay? Like, it's never ending when I'm there, okay? I love buffets because you are granted like so many decisions and fun little choices, and you don't have to choose between them. You can take as little or as much as you want of whatever food you like, or avoid all the foods you don't like, and you get to be like such a boss of what you get, how much you get, and it's like you were your own personal chef, but you didn't do any of the work or cooking, you just ate. And it's just so relaxing and fun, I think. And there's something nice, you know, about like all you can eat and just like the flat rate, and then you can just like go at it. you know, and really get your money's worth. That's beautiful. That's definitely high up on my list of what I love. And then, of course, I cannot live without that first sip feeling of your iced latte. Just so milky, so creamy, so like cool and flavored and aromatic. It's such a gift. I love coffee and the smell of coffee shops coming in there. It's like just lovely. It's lovely to get like the espresso beans in your nose and just wonderful. Another beautiful thing is like pastries. Pastries, like the way they're flaky, the way they're soft, just the way that they're presented, and all the different flavors that you can get of just like a simple croissant. You've seen pistachio croissants before, you've seen chocolate croissants, you've seen them with ham inside and cheese and made savory. And it's just like, God, like I love pastries, love breads. Gonna go in and do my little waterline with the white. Also, doing your makeup has got to be on the list of beautiful things. Makeup. Like makeup palettes. God, I love just like looking at eyeshadow palettes, and especially when they're not just like every color of the rainbow, but like taking a look at like a theme of colors and how the company or the artist like configured the palette to be how it is, to have those colors in which order and what tones they all fall under, how many shimmeries, how many mattes, how many glitters, darks, lights, neutrals. It's just so fun. And I feel like with eyeshadow palettes, they're also so inspiring. I'm sure, like, they just invite you to use different colors and make a look out of the little options that you were provided. So cute. And then the act of doing makeup is so fucking therapeutic. You could be slow, you could be fast, you could be natural, you could be drag, you could be literally anything you would like. And you can wash off, you can keep it on. It's also just like, it's like a buffet on your face. Like you can do as little or as much as you would like with all of your fun little options, ingredients, brushes. It's a really nice form of art that is common, which is great because I feel like more people now have an outlet, like a creative outlet of some sort. Another beautiful thing is like the steady smoke that comes from incense when you're burning it. It's just so lovely watching smoke. And I know I said incense, but like any smoke, just if it's coming from like one particular source, it's so stunning, so relaxing to see like how the particles move up in the air and where they want to go and like where they're swaying, and when the smoke goes in a certain direction with the wind. Stuff like that is just so pretty. Nature in general is astounding and stunning and something everyone will always take for granted. No, the smell of rain, that's something exquisite. The smell of rain is unbeatable. I think it's gotta be like overall best scent in the world. And there are other really good scents, like someone's homemade cooking in another room, and it wafts into another room, and you're like, whoa, what is that? I love the smell of garages, like that, like musk and the must. It's just so like stiff in there. You can almost like touch it. I like that scent a lot. Any scents that are nostalgic too are really interesting. I started burning a candle yesterday for the first time in a while, and it just brought so many memories back just from that single wick of flame. I just thought of everything we used to do when we used to burn that candle every day. That candle me and my boyfriend burnt nearly every day of wintertime. And so I remember playing Catan, the board game, all the time with him. And I remember like the lip oil I would use every day to keep my lips moisturized because they were chapped in the wintertime. And you just kind of like remember small details like that, and it's just so funny. Scents are so underrated. I love the Stila liquid eyeshadows. Never going back after I tried these. These are like liquid gold. Liquid gold. They're so bright. Another beautiful thing is when someone uses words that you don't know. I love it when people are using big words on me. I remember I was interviewing a guy for this job position. And you know, like I'm on this manager team, and we already liked him, and we had a good feeling, and you know, it was all we were likely gonna hire him for the position. But it was just so like, yeah, totally getting it. When he started using words I didn't know, I was like, fuck. I mean, I don't even know what he just answered for this question, but I'm sold. Yeah, I just love when people bring some intelligence to the table. And I like learning new things, like in a chill way like that. Oh, now that I'm looking at the window, I'm seeing a little bunny rabbit hopping through my backyard, and that's definitely something to note. Like, cute animals in the wild. I love seeing bunnies. I love seeing toads or frogs or geese, or you know, anything besides like a household pet. I love being able to witness that. I think I'm like being so gifted. I gotta love s'mores, because even if s'mores are like so hit or miss and they're like whatever, sometimes, you know, you can make them right, sometimes not so much. But just the vibe s'mores give, like a classic summer night with a campfire and lightning bugs, and just that whole idea is so incredibly appealing. So appealing. And then having like a sweet treat like that, just lovely. That's another thing I love. Homemade desserts. If someone made something at home I'm so likely to gobble that up and shower them with compliments, because I love when people bake. I love it. Or when people cook. It's so attractive. And it doesn't have to be like romantically attractive, but like attractive as like to your personality. It's so nice. Like, you made this, you took your time and you made this and you brought this in for me. You want me to taste your talent? Something so nice about that, and so just like honoring, honestly. Yeah, love that. Gonna start doing my eyebrows now. Gotta bring this mirror a little bit closer. Something else that's so nice is when you're, driving on the highway and you're very absent-minded. You're just trying to drive or wait out the long car ride or whatever you're doing. And then there's just like a really nice cliff or a really nice array of trees or a really nice cloud. And like you get like some nature in this very like utilitarian activity. That's really nice. It's like a breath of fresh air and a reminder of like the real earth, and not just this little mission or whatever you have to do if you have to go to work or if you're going shopping. It's not about making money or spending money. It's about like a nice journey. I just like when life kind of presents itself to you like that a little bit. And I just love nature. I love being reminded about it. Always there's something wonderful about when you see other people taking pictures of something completely natural, like the sunset, for example. I think the sunset's a wonderful thing because almost always people stop and consider it, and look at it a little bit longer. And it's so, the most natural it gets. It's the sun setting over the horizon, moon coming up. It happens every day, but it's so colorful and bright that humans, even with their busy lives and preoccupied minds, can't help but stop and look at it for a little bit. And so wonderful. It kind of like makes me believe in humanity again, Another thing that's really beautiful is eye contact. If I'm working a customer service job and the customer has really good eye contact, really good social skills, and just like is trying to have like a genuine conversation with you, even if it's just like, oh, how's it going? Here's your food. Do you want your receipt? Even if it's something like so simple like that, it's like the eye contact and their engagement is meaningful. And that's really nice. And it makes your job more meaningful, and human encounters are so much more rewarding and fulfilling when there's good engagement and body language, like eye contact. Eye contact also like allows you to take a deeper look or more prolonged glance into their facial features, and I love examining faces, taking a good look at the shape of the nose and the bridge of the nose, and which eyelash is longest, how are their irises colored, like stuff like that, as if you're gathering data on the visual appearances of everyone you come across. It's so fun. It's so fun seeing people's different faces. I love that. Something else that's wonderful is rubbing a beard. My boyfriend, he has like a stubble usually, and I love just running my fingers across it and through it and like scratching between the hairs. It's the most relaxing thing ever. It's just like a mini porcupine. Again, it's just like a natural human little thing, and it's so lovely. And something that definitely will make it on my list right now is pleasuring others and, you know, making others feel relaxed, comforted, cared for. There's no better feeling in the world than like giving back, honestly. Gift giving. Oh, it's great. It's so good. Back to the idea of food. Fresh fruit when it's like perfect. Like when you have a strawberry and it's like just your perfect strawberry. Like it's the perfect sweetness. It's that perfect color that you like. It's perfect like phase of ripeness. It's like your perfect little fruit all for you. And like you have it and it's juicy and your like fingertips are colored slightly and it's just euphoric. It's so euphoric and so like, I don't know, sensual. It's lovely. I can't tell if I did my eyebrows well or not. I'm like not really paying too much attention to the makeup quality, and that's okay. I'll run a mascara through it, I guess. Another thing of beauty are candid photos. Like if someone takes a photo of you and you don't even know, and then you at one point come across it, either they posted it or you saw it on their camera roll or they sent it to you, whatever, and it looks real good and you're like, fuck, I didn't even try. And that's just like me in the wild. And then you kind of take, you see how you look from like an outside perspective and how other people are perceiving you. And it's just so interesting because we, as a modern society now, are always looking into our phones, always looking at the effing Snapchat or whatever, like constantly looking at yourself, whether it's in a mirror or your phone, whatever, you're constantly looking at yourself. And it's not really organic, you know. You're always like, maybe you open up your eyes a little bit when you open up the camera to yourself, or maybe you like pout your lips a little bit, or I don't know, whatever. I used to always like kind of like lift my eyebrows a bit. And then when you see like your natural unfiltered, unposed face from another angle, it's like kind of enlightening and just really cool. I'm gonna do my eyelashes off camera because it always takes a while. So this is the finished makeup look. Another thing you gotta love is a good makeup day. So yeah, my list of things of beauty is so long. I'm really proud of myself because I actually didn't like prepare a list or anything for today's video. It's just like stuff that I could easily think of. So honestly, like, the YouTuber that I gained inspiration from, she said, challenge yourself to make a list of 1,000 of these sorts of things, because honestly that was really easy. So yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone. Love you. Hope you take a double glance at things next time.